Good evening. It's all still on the line again, and happy Sunday to each and every one of us. And how we all doing? Hope we all had a lovely day. And I refer to those in Nigeria and those from South Africa, those from the USA, from everywhere. I guess it's a Sunday. It may either be in the morning or in the afternoon or in the evening. Like us here in Nigeria, we're in the evening hours. So hope we all had a lovely day. And I decided to pick today being Sunday to make a live broadcast. The reason I chose today being Sunday is because during the other days, that's during the weekdays, I'm usually so engaged. But this Sunday, I think I'm a bit more relaxed after I've gone to church, and then attended to one or two other activities. Now, the next thing I would have to do is just to get myself ready and get to work tomorrow. Those are the only things I have to do. So my Sundays are usually a bit less stressful. So as my topic is today, my topic will be TBC and our way forward versus Fiat and the debt slavery system. Now, I'm going to try as much as possible to do the phase 1 and the phase 2 of this. The phase 1 is going to be an introductory, and then the phase 2 will be a kind of in-depth into what the subject matter is all about. But I would just like to say that I would like to begin by saying, telling us about a little of the experience I had today while I was in church. I've been trying so much, to make sure that TBC goes round, tells people about it, and then tries to educate them. What you see, when you first of all go into the info site, the billioncoin.info, the first thing you see there is get yourself educated. Fortunes are made by getting yourself educated. You see, in some other cryptocurrencies, you could have them and you could use them for immediate gain. Yes, you could have them and then use them for immediate gain. That is, coins in the coin market cap. You could just have it quickly. You could sell it off, and then get returns, maybe in coin or in goods and service or in money, paper money. But if you sit down and look into TBC, TBC is the only cryptocurrency that has several number of pages of education blogs. Right from inception, that's 2016, that we've been on. If you go into the blog, you'll find out that you'll see several countless number of pages that is really educating you. When I was young, I used to admire going to the university. Until when I went into university, I saw that, oh, there's really nothing in this university. It's like a system that they try to mold you into. Like, you could be a person that is process oriented. When you go into the university, you may not like that kind of process that they're going by. You may have your own kind of process. But when you get there, they will tell you this is how they want it to be. You must have to go about it this way. You must have to do it this way. And then you may have so much understanding and wisdom, skill, but you will drop your wisdom, you will drop your skill, and then you start forcing yourself to learn a particular instance, maybe that the lecturer has said. Now, let me give myself as an instance. I'm a guy, I went through one of the universities in Nigeria, one of the federal universities. And I'm just one of those fortunate kind of people. The why I say I'm fortunate is because the only school I attended in my primary school was a private school, And then when I went into my university, it was a federal school. When I went into my secondary school, it was a federal school. When I went into my university, it was a federal one. When I went for masters, it was a federal one. When I was doing my youth service, it was in a federal organization I was doing it. Everything has just been on a federal level. coincidentally, even now I'm working is on that same level. So it's just a fortunate thing. But there is something I did discover in this education system that we see in our world. It's a kind of system that tries to pattern you in line with something. It tries to make you drop your own ideas and then adopt the ideas of some other person. It does not give you room to think outside of the box. That's one of the systems in our world that limits our minds. It's a kind of scarcity mindedness that was created in our system, created in our world. It does not give room for you to say, why is it like this? Why not like this? Now, most of the people that did think outside the box, they were the one that broke records. One of them was the man who invented the light bulb. I wouldn't want to call their names, but you see, he started thinking outside of the box. And you know what? He failed. He kept failing. He kept failing. But he never allowed that failure to deter him from moving forward. He kept trying out new ways, kept trying out new ways, until finally, it may have taken him a year, 2 years. But there was something about him which I did admire. He was very persistent until he was able to break through, and then the light bulb came to life. That's the thing now that each and every one of us are enjoying. When it started with that filament, that stable filament, and it used to generate so much of heat, and over time it was improved. And after being improved, we now have energy saver bulbs, and it's still being improved. Now that kind of thing are that kind of instance is an instance that shows a person that is thinking outside of the box. Another person too that is thinking outside of the box, or another set of people that also thought outside of the box, are people who created the electricity. The electricity that everyone now in the world is enjoying, they did think outside of the box. But when you sit down and you ask them why, how did they go about it, they will tell you how much persecutions, how much naysayers came around them and told them, oh, forget it, you are wasting your time. Oh, this is impossible. Even Ford, the man that has Ford, when he was on his system, there was a kind of motor engine that everyone knew. But no, Ford said he wants a different pattern. He wants a different concept. And when he said that, they were like, this is not possible. He said, no, it's very possible. And those people kept working. He never took yes for an answer. He never took no for an answer, sorry. He kept saying, you have to do it this way. And then he stretched them within limits until at last they thought outside of the box. And then they came up with results. Now, what's the point I'm actually driving at? I'm driving at my education system. The education system that we have gone through, what has it helped us to do? When I was much younger, my dad used to tell me, go to school, learn, you come out, and you work in one big organization. The point now is, these people that only go to school, what do they help them to do? They streamline them. That's the scarcity concept, the scarcity mindedness. They streamline them only to work for some other people. And when you look into those people that they are working with, majority of them are quite enlightened. They may be elites, kind of. Those people that are fortunate to work in all these big organizations, and they'll be like, wow, I'm working in UNICEF. Wow, I'm working in ECOWAS. Wow, I'm working in one of these big organizations. I'm trying to recall the name of the organization. And these kind of things are big bodies that determine and decide how the world will go. And then what they do is, when you come into those kind of organizations, they blind you. How do they blind you? They feed you with so much of money that you would lose sight of thinking of another life after that place. Now, what happens is, after you withdraw, after you retire, then they abandon you. And then within a space of few years, you find out that life becomes so difficult, and then you die off because you're not receiving the money that they are giving again. And then the money that they give you as pension will be so small. The standard of life you were living before, you won't be able to maintain it again. You begin to start bothering yourself, thinking so much, and all of a sudden, one illness or the other will kill you. This has been the life of so many people in our world. Now, that's what you call a streamlined concept of life. And so many people have fallen prey to that kind of concept, you know. But when you bring out a concept that is outside of the box, people say, oh, come on, this is nonsense. Oh, come on, this is bullshit. Oh, come on, it can't be possible. That's exactly the system that we are now running in TBC community. And guess what? We are building numbers because people are really coming to life. People are really coming to see that this thing is very possible. You know, if you look into the blog, you find out that a good number of posts has come up on the blog. One of those posts is that TBC is a group of people were able to buy an estate with TBC. You know, some other people bought a car, a sports car with TBC. The point is your limitation, your mindset. It's the way you see TBC. If you see TBC as real money, really it is money. And then another thing is understanding the trend. You see, it may not be so easy now, even though these people are making these things public. It may not be so easy now, even though you try. You may get discouraged if you get a setback or if they say no. But no, you don't allow yourself get discouraged. The reason I say so is because it's just a system that is coming in. Over time, people will begin to start seeing TBC as money. Maybe in the next few years, in the next few months from now, very, very soon, the migration process will now officially start. I want to believe that the 25 people that were able to fill the form and then were sent into the new blockchain are being test run. They are being checked. The blockchain technology that the admin has actually helped, the admin has actually created with the technical team. They are making sure that everything is completed. Now, this is Sunday. Maybe this week, an announcement will come up on the blog that another set of people are now open to do their migration. But I earlier on said in my previous, do all your cookies redemption. Make sure that you do all your cookies redemption before you start talking about migrating. Most people should be start migrating by ending of next month, by the month of May. That ending of next month will be June or July. That's a very good time to do your migration. There wouldn't be stress, there wouldn't be rush, you know, and then you do the migration. After the migration process has finished, then the next thing is what? A new life. TBC now starts afresh. Now that is where you are now going to start seeing this power behind TBC. Many people do not understand what it is now. That is when organizations will start looking into TBC and they'll be like, wow, this community is so big. One, well, they may not be as big as Bitcoin, but they are an organized set of people. Do you know that this community usually have meetings every Monday? And all their community members gather together in YouTube and they listen to what the leader has to say. Who is the leader? The voice of TBC. You know, when he finished talking, and then there are some questions that they ask and he responds. Now, how can it be that this cryptocurrency was able to be disorganized? So that means if we do partnership with these people, we are also going to benefit because most of our goods and services will be sold to these people. And then we are going to make so much gain. You know, they'll sit down and they will even call the board and they will discuss on it. And then they'll start negotiations with the TBC community. I want you to understand that TBC community is just starting. So many people are just watching TBC and thinking it is still a scam. They were watching TBC when TBC started appreciating between 1 to 5%. They were watching TBC when TBC was doubling in value. They kept watching until the admin said, yes, that the daily price now caught up with the ultimate price. They were still watching to hear that TBC has crashed. It didn't crash. And then after some time, the admin now said, we wonder when the TBC will double again. Now, people were still waiting to hear that TBC goes down. And then all of a sudden, the admin said, migration is starting. They'll be like, well, let's see. And then admin now says that TBC value has now been associated with gold, no more euro, because euro is a depreciating asset. Every fiat system is a depreciating asset. And then they are beginning to look at it. Now they are undecisive. They don't know whether it's to join or not to join. Now you may be listening to me from wherever you are in the world. You'll be undoing yourself not to join the TBC community. The TBC community will be a very formidable force. And it will be something that people can willingly and happily identify with. Recall that TBC is a revolution. It is a fight, not a physical fight, not a bloody fight. It is a bloodless fight. It's a protest. It's a protest against the way we have been living our life. Now, come to think of it, in this Nigeria, have you seen how many people are suffering in Nigeria? Some of you may not know, but when you come to Nigeria, you see how many people are really going through pain. People cannot pay their house rents. Sincerely speaking, people cannot get accommodations to live in, even if it's a self-contained apartment. People cannot be able to go to school. I mean, even parents can't take their children to school. So many things are getting wrong. Inflation keeps going higher and higher and higher and higher and higher, and people are wondering, okay, what is the way out? Sincerely speaking, there is no way out in the fiat system. The fiat system will continue to choke you until it's able to choke you to the point where they now give you the mark of the beast system. And that is where we are gradually going to. Who are those people that are enjoying so much money? If you sincerely look into the world and see, especially in Nigeria, those that are making so much money, investigate them. They are other government officials, senators, governors, appointees, special something to something. I don't want to mention name, but people that are closely associated to the government, they are the ones that don't feel it. Why? Because it is the currencies that are being printed are having the backings of the government. So those people that are in the government are like the ones enjoy. Some of them do not even know. Sincerely speaking, it may surprise you to know that even the president of this country may not understand the pains that people are going through in our country. Sincerely speaking, he may not know. Why? Because he has not been able to bring himself to see what the people are suffering. Now, what do we do to come out of it? Do you think you can be able to modify the policies in Nigeria to make things easier? Do you think it's possible for you to upgrade the system of living? Do you think it's possible for you to upgrade the minimum wage like the government is talking about now in Nigeria? It cannot help matters, because as the minimum wage is going up, inflation quickly goes up to be able to equal the minimum wage, so that everyone within a space of 1 year, 2 years, everything goes back to the way it is. That is the problem we are facing in the financial system using the fiat system. We need a way out. Now, I was discussing with someone after work, after church, sorry. Now, while I was discussing with the person is in my group. And sorry, let me just say hi to those that are online. That's Ndidi Amaka. Hi, Ndidi. Is it Ndidi or Didi? I don't know. It looks like Ndidi. Well, maybe it's the swag. She's trying to put on swag. And then Famuyide, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy that you are here. And so I continue with what I was saying. So I was discussing with a friend. Now, while I was discussing with this friend, I told the friend, the person belongs to my group. I told my friend that what is stopping you from coming into the TBC community? You know what my friend told me? What he really told me really touched me. He touched me because he was ignorant. He told me that this system, I want you to just hear what I have to say. Even if you didn't hear any other thing, but hear this one. He told me that this system is the system that the Antichrist is going to use. He's going to use this Antichrist system, and he's going to capture the whole world. When he said that thing, I smiled. While I smiled, I looked at TBC. I listened to what he said, and then I smiled and I looked at TBC. TBC is a direct opposite of what he had in mind. Maybe he does not know that the government are also thinking of building up a centralized, ultimate centralized controlled system. That is the pyramid kind of system, the all-seeing eye, the Illuminati. That is that system of cryptocurrency that they will use to sweep through the world and make sure that everyone must be controlled. Everyone must have a particular number, a particular digit. And that is the digit they shall use to control the activities of the person, how much the person is entitled to get, and everything. All these things are already on ground. It's just to make sure that the right time comes, and then they begin the implementation of that thing. That's the sincere truth. But you see, TBC is actually a different plan. Now, TBC is a defense against it. It's like a closed vacuum where the evil system cannot penetrate. It's like an impregnable wall where they try to break through, but they cannot break through. How? Why can't they break through? Reason, because for you to be able to break something, you have to know who the author of that thing is. Who knows who the author of Bitcoin is? Nobody. They say it's Satoshi Nakamoto. That's a brilliant idea. Now, that was the same concept that the TBC admin brought in. Now, TBC admin understands that if you leave this thing to the hands of people, the purpose, the ultimate concept shall never be achieved. Now, that is why the TBC admin decided to go behind, build a blog. All right, I'm so sorry. And there was a bridge in network. So I had to quickly set my connections and then make sure that it gets to be normal. So where was I? I was talking about the guy, and I was giving an instance to the house of God. I told him that look at the house of God. There are so many people here that are suffering in silence. You know, so many people are just saying, God, what do we do? How do we make it through? So many people are saying, God, how do we move forward? Lord, what is the way out? You know, so many people are crying and saying, God, if you do not provide a way out, Lord, we are going to perish. We are going to perish. Father, what do we do? You know, I told him everything. And after telling him all this thing, his response was that, well, God has a way to take care of his own children. Now, I want you to understand, it is not synonymous. God did not create man to suffer. I want you to hear me very well. God did not create a human being, put him on this earth and say, all through your life you will suffer. Came to Adam and Eve, and then they tried to play smart with God. They would have admitted it. They would have said, Lord, we are sorry. We didn't understand the consequence of the thing that you told us to do. And we are sorry, Father, forgive us. No, they didn't. They started looking for excuse. First of all, it came to Adam. Adam quickly shifted it to Eve. When he told Eve, Eve quickly shifted it to serpent. Serpent was actually Lucifer. Serpent was actually the devil. The Lord has actually condemned the devil. So the Lord didn't need to start negotiating with the devil to say, devil, why did you go and tempt him? Because that was his ultimate plan. His ultimate plan was to tempt the firstborn, the first creation of God, and then take back the authority that God had given them. Because as at then, God made man to be above all after him. You know, but because he beguiled them, he deceived them and took back that authority. So God didn't need to negotiate with Satan because he had already condemned him for death. So then the Lord said, cursed Satan. After cursing Satan, he now told Eve that you are going to suffer in giving child, in giving birth to children. And then he told Adam that this ground is going to be a thorn for you. He didn't curse Adam. No, he cursed the ground for Adam's sake. You know, but when Jesus came, Jesus abolished all those rules. And then he became poor that we may be rich. So the point I'm actually driving at is that suffering is not synonymous with Christianity. Hear me and hear me very well. Even though the Lord said, pick up your cross and follow me, it means you have to stand in righteousness. You have to stand in sincerity. You have to be faithful in your dealings with other people. That is what the Lord is defining. But it does not mean that all through your life you are going to be suffering. You are going to find things so difficult. No. As a matter of fact, when you suffer so much, you'll be tempted to do things that are evil. And when you do those things that are evil, you say, well, God, you understand. God is not going to understand anymore because the opportunity has been made open to everybody. Get TBC coins because TBC coin is just in its seed stage. Very soon it's going to grow and then it becomes a fruit. It becomes a tree that bears fruits. But the problem we are having is that we are looking at it as the mark of the beast. It is not. It is not the mark of the beast. Listen and listen very well. This is a direct revolt against the system, the norm, the thing that is causing hyperinflation in our economy through the banks and every other system that has been engineered by the government, by the elites to keep making themselves richer and then causing us to scramble for the very little that is left. I don't want you to be ignorant any further. As a child of God, you may be Christian, you be Muslim, you be any country in the world or any religion in the world. That's why TBC is not being tribalistic. TBC is open to everyone. See TBC as a value. Hold on to it. The agreement is what is governing us. What is the agreement? That we shall continue to increase in number. In direct proportion, that is, we shall continue to increase in number until we hit 1 billion verified members. And our numbers are directly associated or affiliated with gold. That is to say, for every one person that comes in, it is assumed to be a grain of gold that comes into the community. And a grain of gold is actually equal to 2.3 euro. That is 2.3 euro. So when we get to a billion, it becomes 1 billion verified members, which will be equal to 2.3 euro. Maybe the value of the money must have slightly appreciated or depreciated, but it's going to be between 2.1 and 2.4 euro. That is by the time we have gotten to ultimate value. And I wouldn't be surprised if by next year we get to a billion verified members based on the things that the admin has in stock. And that the cookies that will be coming up. The November cookies reward is going to be explosive. I repeat it. Whatever you need to do to get, I want you to start planning on getting it now. Get as many as possible. I'm purchasing $100 out of TBC or 200. I want you to work with referrals. If you can't, I can help you. Get referrals. 100 referrals gives you 10 TBCs. 200 referrals gives you 20 TBCs. That is what it means to harvest TBCs. Because if you have a burning desire in your heart to help the less privileged, if you look into people's life and see how people are suffering, they are living in slums, they are living in ghettos, they are looking for how to survive. Prostitution is growing higher. You know, criminals are growing more in the society. That was last 2 weeks. I heard about an attack. I may not know if it's political attack or it may be an attack due to hunger. That is in Akure. Banks attacked, armed robbers attacked banks. And they killed so many people. They killed so many people. Why is it so? If you had money, do you think you would go there to rob? If you had a comfortable life, do you think you would go there to rob? You wouldn't do that. They risked their life. They were well padded. Their life was made up. Their mind was made up. It's either I go in for this mission and succeed or I am killed. That was the state of mind. Why is wickedness growing in our society? Why is people becoming so wicked, arrogant, proud, and all manner of things are growing up? But there is a solution before us. That solution is called the billion coin. Get this coin and hold it. Wait as we are growing in numbers. A time shall come when so many people will come to suddenly realize that, wow, the only alternative we have is to go cryptocurrency. As a matter of fact, maybe you don't know. I know that the admin had earlier on said, let's cool down, let's calm down about the bank because the migration process is currently moving on. But I want you to understand, and I'll keep reiterating and reiterating it, that after the migration process finishes, the next phase that I'll be looking into is the distribution of ATM cards at a certain amount. The admin will put these things in the blog very soon. And then the next phase after that is what? Cashing out, which is the banks coming in to do business with us. Why? Because our wallet has been upgraded. Our system has been upgraded. Everything that has itches will be corrected. Then we'll become an organized community. We will start with the testers and then the backup testers. Over a while, the admin will open it to more testers because everyone within the TBC community must enjoy this privilege. Everyone has to enjoy what it looks like to have a valuable currency or valuable money that continues to appreciate in value. When you are able to withdraw $500 the first week, withdraw it second week, the third week, the fourth week, the next month, and it's consistent. Wow. How will you feel? Tell me how you will feel. You are going to be so excited. You will go out, take people out, and tell people, come into the world of abundance. That is the kind of thing that we are believing that would happen very soon. It's not a thing of maybe or maybe not. It is something that is certain. It cannot be disputed. The reason I say so is because I see TBC as the finger of God moving through this earth. It is doing something to bring back sanity and human feeling to men, because men are no more behaving like humans. They are now behaving like animals, behaving beastly in nature like animals. You know, animals fight to survive. We are human beings. We are higher human beings, higher animals. We are not ordinary human. We are created in the image of the Almighty God. So we should have a level of wisdom, understanding, and communication within each other. I've never seen any form of organization in my life like the Billion Coin. Well, I want to stop here. I just want us to understand that TBC, in comparison to Fiat, I mean, it has no comparison. It just has no comparison. Sincerely speaking, the Fiat system is not a system to depend upon. People keep saying you want to invest in land because land appreciates. Land does not appreciate. Land is a stable system. What happens is that the paper money keeps depreciating. When you have cryptocurrencies, where you are now associated with gold, which is a kind of stable asset. My brother, we are going somewhere. My sister, we are going somewhere. Friends, loved ones, we are going somewhere. Listening to me, you may be listening to me. Make up your mind, come into the TBC community. I'm here to assist you. As a matter of fact, I want us to hear those in the TBC community are to help each other. That's why the TBC community exists. We are to help each other, okay? Now, being in the TBC community, you are not going to sell TBC to some other people. You go out and meet people that do not have at all. Tell them, educate them, enlighten them, sell TBC to them. Minimum of $100 out of TBC so that the person can get at least one TBC. If the person can go about referrals, then the person can go about referrals to get 10 TBCs. I want you to understand that it's in round numbers. You can't get 50 referrals and expect to get 5 TBCs. No, it must be 100 referrals to get 10 TBC, 200 referrals to get 20 TBC, and multiples of 100, like that. Okay? So I will stop here because, like I said, this is just the introduction. The next phase we are going to talk about, we shall be talking more about TBC and our way forward. Okay? Thank you very much, audience. I sincerely appreciate your time with me, and God bless you. Happy Sunday, and we shall see again sometime along the week. Okay? For we in Nigeria, have a lovely night rest, and for those of us in some other countries, take care of yourselves. And for those that watch these videos, I hope you'll be able to understand the message I'm trying to pass across. All right, thank you very much. More updates will be coming up. I would recommend that we should come into the live broadcast that Bitcoin Randy always shoots every day, because those informations he gives are very enlightening. Okay, I'll stop here. Take care of yourself. See you some other time. God bless you.